Okay, real quick, I want to talk about one of my favorite phrases. It's called hate the sin, love the sinner. Why do I love it so much? Because it teaches two very important lessons. The first one is hate the sin. So how do you know what sin is? To know that, you have to know what's right and wrong, what's good and evil. And how do you do that? You need someone to tell you what's right and wrong. And for Christians, that's the Bible. I know if you're not a Christian, you might be thinking to yourself, okay, well, I'm not Christian. There's a million different religions out there. There's Islam and there's Hinduism or whatever. Like, who are you to say that the Christian Bible of your specific denomination is the way to go? Well, just ask yourself, what is the way to go then? So you're saying that is there a best moral code? If there is, then what is it? And if there isn't, then that sounds like a problem, right? If everyone just does their own thing, this is called what is it called? Moral relativism. If that's the case, then everyone just does their own thing, and that seems kind of chaotic. So that's just something to think about. You know, the Christian Bible, is it true? Is it not? And if it's not true, what's the next best thing? Okay, so on to the second part of the quote. So you have hate the sin, and then the second one is love the sinner. And I think this is so profound. I mean, it's only 3 words, but I mean, there's just so much wisdom in this. So love the sinner, because we are all sinners, right? This is basically indirectly telling you to not judge people. Now, when I say judge, I'm talking about judging someone's whole worth or judging someone's eternal destination. So go around saying, yeah, that person's going to hell. This person, he shot up a school. I mean, he's going to hell. Hitler's going to hell. Well, this guy, he donates to charity and he feeds the poor, and he does a lot of good stuff. So he's probably going to heaven, right? So that's something we are not supposed to do, right? Only God can judge, and we don't know God's mercy, and we just pray that God is merciful, and right, that's all we can do. We can just pray. Otherwise, we're all pretty much doomed. But so we are not to judge people and hate people, because we are called to love everyone, including our enemies, and that, well, as Jesus would say, especially our enemies, because it's easy to love people that you love, right? You love your family, you love your friends. That's not hard. Loving your enemies, that's hard. That's extremely hard. It just goes against everything that we feel and almost everything that we're taught here on earth, right? So hate the sin is knowing what's right and wrong, and hating it and feeling conviction about it. So if you see someone out there murdering and stealing and raping and stuff, you should feel angry about that. You should be like, whoa, this is evil. We can't do that. You see countries that have slavery, countries that kill babies, or kill people for no good reason. Murdering innocent people. We're angry about that, and we should be. A school shooter comes in and shoots up people. Obviously we should be angry about that. We should hate that. But we should also pray for the people that are doing these evil deeds. And that's why I think it's so toxic when people dehumanize others and say like, oh yeah, that school shooter, he was a piece of trash. He's a scumbag. He's a vermin. He's a monster. He's a demon. And I know there are a lot of quirks in the English language. So like, if I call someone a scumbag or a dirtbag, I don't literally mean that he's a bag of dirt. Obviously, he's a human being. I'm not saying that you're not a human being. I don't go around calling people dirtbags, but I'm sure a lot of people do. And I don't think that necessarily means you're dehumanizing someone, but why leave it up to chance, right? So I think language matters a lot. Using precise language is important. So when, obviously the Charlie Kirk news, everyone is angry. Well, not everyone, but most reasonable, rational people are angry about, an assassin going around murdering innocent people, and they use words that are not biblical. So they say like, "I hate him. I hope he burns in hell. He's a demon. He's a devil." The fact is, the devil is everywhere, and pretty much the devil has a grasp on all of our hearts. So we all need to pray and get that devil and get Satan out of our lives. But Satan's everywhere. Everywhere you go, there's Satan, right? So we're all infected by evil, right? But through our discernment, we're saying, okay, yeah, most people are not shooting people in the neck, right? Most people are not going around shooting up schools. So they think just on a secular level, it's like, okay, yeah, school shooters, bad, really bad people, and then there's like regular people and stuff like that. But that's just how we kind of make sense of things in the secular world and how we protect ourselves. Like I said, we don't want to put ourselves in danger and get trapped in with where evil congregates, right? So we naturally and wisely try to avoid putting ourselves in danger. And so we kind of make sense of the world that way. Like, I'm not going to try to join a gang, even though the gangbangers are also people that deserve to be, or that need to be loved, that Jesus commands us to love. So anyway, that's all I'm trying to say here. I think this is a great quote. I hate the sin, love the sinner. I know it's a little bit controversial because some people say, "Oh yeah, when you say that, it might give people the wrong idea when you say hate the sin. Hate is a strong word, something like that, and they might think they're just being hateful." But like I said, precise language matters a lot. I hate it. See what I did there? I hate it when people don't use precise language. You hate the evil deed, but you should not hate the person. So use the correct phrase. I know a lot of people say, "Yeah, my friend's a good dude," or "Yeah, I know someone at work, he's a bad person, he's not a good person." And I'm like, I know what you mean, but I don't think we should be going around saying he's a good person, he's a bad person. It's problematic. It might not necessarily be strictly sinful or wrong to say that. But when you use imprecise language, you invite misinterpretation, and that could lead people going down the wrong path. So that's all I wanted to say. It's a great phrase. I use it all the time, even though some people might not like it. I mean, I've thought about it for a long time, and I still like the phrase. But if you don't like the phrase, let me know in the comments down below if you think it's bad to use. But for me, I think it just teaches two amazing lessons, and it's just one of the great phrases that I live by, and I try to hark back on whenever I can.